In a refreshing twist, teens across the country are swapping smartphones for sewing needles, gardening gloves, and for knitting yarn. So, an article in House Beautiful shared how these so-called grandma hobbies are making a major comeback with younger generations embracing the joy of slower, hands-on pastimes. We felt it helpful to dive into some of these hobbies with some of our favorite Studio 5 friends. So all week long, we will be sharing the Crafting Comeback. It's a series that lets us explore a different hobby every day. And today our focus is on the art of crocheting. So here to share the 101 for anyone interested in getting started is Kristin Baird. Kristin, you're the one we had to have.
I know.
Welcome back.
Yes, of course.
Okay, thanks for kicking off this series. We're so excited about it. And the first thing you want people to know is there is a whole community around
Oh my
crochet.
gosh, you will not believe the community. Well, I mean, for starters, there's like 1,000 hobbies you can pick up with this. It's not just the actual craft itself, it's buying the yarn. It's getting all of the trinkets and all of the little knickknacks that go with that. It's dyeing, it's all of these things. And there are festivals, there are yarn shop days, there's Knit in Public Day, all of these things. And most knit shops, which actually there are, I wanna say 2 in Salt Lake, local yarn shops, and then the one that I go to is in Bountiful, and there's another one that's in Sandy, like they are all over. There's another one that's also in Provo, and they always have a knit night, which doesn't mean you have to bring knitting. You just bring a portable fiber craft. It can be embroidery, it can be crochet, it can be anything. And you will meet your next best friend, I promise you.
I love it. Swap patterns. Yeah. Okay. And so for the beginnings, which I think most of us are beginners, tell me the difference between, because we were talking about this as producers, crocheting, knitting, what is the difference?
Okay, so there are quite a few things. Basically, knitting started out to mimic bobbin lace, and then crochet came about to mimic knitting. So with knitting, it's with 2 needles usually, and with crochet, it's with 1 hook. And so how you can kind of remember that is crochet is hook in French.
Oh, you just
so
taught
it's
us
like
something.
Fancy,
Crochet,
yeah.
hook in French. Okay.
So yeah, and it's the actual fabric itself is a little bit different. The drape of knit is like a little bit more conducive to lighter weight fabrics, whereas crochet is a little bit stiffer. So you want to do that more for like bags or like shirts with structure. So yeah, so crochet is a great place to start.
Okay, I told her I have tried this many times, and I'm not good at it, but I want to be good at it. So let's just start, like basically, if you want to get started, what do we need to buy?
Well, very first is progress over perfection.
Okay, I know you said that, yes.
And then what you will want is basically just a crochet hook and a ball of yarn.
Size? Because I've seen different sizes.
Yeah, so the size of the crochet hook depends on the size of the yarn. Okay. So if you get some thinner yarn, which I wouldn't recommend to start with because it takes so much longer and hard to see, then you would want a smaller hook, something like this little guy right here, which you can see I've bent a little bit.
Okay. So this is a good just kind of starter size?
Yeah, starter size, usually a G or an H is a good one. And then there are multiple sizes of yarn. This is a worsted weight, which is a great middle ground. It's easy to see. I would also recommend starting with a lighter color because when you go with the darker colors, it's hard to see your stitches.
Okay, good tip.
Yeah, and the main problem I find with crochet is people just don't know where to go. Like, where do I put my hook, you know?
Yes.
And if you can't see the stitch, we kind of have problems.
Okay,
so,
well, we're
yeah.
going to start from the beginning. So
Yes.
if I wanted to get started, you're going to show me, you're teaching me your ways.
I am going to show you
Okay.
exactly how. So I've brought you this one, and this yarn is so fantastic. It's a linen cotton blend. And actually, that's it right there. Okay, so you can go ahead and feel that. It's nice. It's a great summery yarn because it's more breathable. And it also will give you a bit more structure. So we like that, especially for bags and things. Now, the very first thing that you need to know is to do a slip knot. Okay, so here's how you do it. What you're gonna do is this is my tail, and this is my working yarn. So the yarn that's coming from my ball is always my working yarn. So what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna take your tail, and you're gonna cross it over your working yarn, okay? Simple enough, right? And then we're just gonna push up a loop, but we're not gonna pull it all the way through, okay? So it's kind of like tying your shoes. You're just not like completing the task, right? So then what you can do is just create a loop.
Okay, am I doing it?
Yeah, you got it, you got it. Oh my gosh!
Okay.
Success is yours. You're beautiful, amazing, and talented. You can do it.
We're going to her class. Okay.
I know, I'm the best. Anyway, so then what you want to do is go ahead and pick up that hook. You want to put your hook in here, but you don't want to choke it. You just want to tighten it up a little bit and get it snug on there. What I like to say is look for like a little window. So see how there's like a little window right there? Because the thing is, if it's too tight, it's gonna be too hard to work with. Okay, so you want a little window. Okay, so the very, very, very first stitch is called the chain stitch. Now, a lot of people get hung up on how to hold your yarn. I think you do whatever's most comfortable. Typically what I like to do, especially starting out, is I just take my pointer and I put it around my pointer finger, and then I'll use my middle finger to kind of like hold it tight.
Okay.
Okay, and then what I do is kind of like wrap around, and I'll grab my little knot with these two fingers. So you see I'm not pinching it with my pointer and my thumb.
I got it.
Yeah, okay. You're so smart. You're like, I can't do this. You can do it. So then what you're gonna do is just grab a loop and pull it through.
Okay.
And that's your chain
that's
stitch.
the hard part.
I know. That's why you gotta have that little window. So another thing that I like to do is I'll yarn over. So put my yarn over my hook. And then I'll sometimes turn my hook a little bit toward my window so that I don't accidentally grab that side.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
And this is the basic, because I know once we get this chain stitch, I did one.
You're
then you just keep going and keep going, and
so you
end up with something like this.
Well, yeah, sort of.
You get one link, right?
I helped you out maybe a tiny bit. So this is basically how you start, right? So then moving on to this, what I've started for you, this is a single crochet. Okay, so if you want to go ahead and pick up that one and then put your hook through the loop. Okay, so what you'll notice is along the top, there's kind of this braid that happens. Do you see that right there?
Yes.
Yeah,
right
so each of those braids is a stitch. So you want to go underneath those V's for your stitch. So you'll see on the side, underneath it, there's kind of this little opening. Do you see that?
Yes.
Yeah, so what you want to do is you'll go through one of those openings. So it's underneath both of those stitches, right? And then you're just going to yarn over like so. Pull it through, but we don't want to go through that one. We just want 2 loops on our hook, then yarn over and pull through again.
I feel like I'm sitting here with my aunts and they're explaining to me, and I'm going to tell you, she does classes on this because if we haven't convinced you, she's the one you go to. Tell us how to find you. Where do we find you online? How can we learn from you?
I actually teach at Seed Stitch. It's a local yarn shop, and the very first project is this cute little bunny.
Darling.
All it is a square that you crochet, and then we'll sew it together and it'll turn into a bunny. I also have 2 other classes in June. I have this bag that is a granny square. It's a little bit more advanced. So there's that. And then I'm also doing this sweater here in June.
Oh my goodness. Okay, and where do we find you online?
Online at seedstitch.com.
Seedstitch.com. Kristin, I mean, I'm going to try again. I'm going to try every year until I do it right.
It's every first and third Saturday. It's free. You just pay for the materials there and you are good. I will teach you.
Thank you, Kristin.